Good morning and welcome to EMTV. The first episode of this season's EMTV will all be about student houses and shady landlords. We are going to talk to Susanne Schuitenmaker from the Dutch Housing Association, the Woonbond. It's about your rights and obligations as tenant. But if this is the first time you're watching EMTV and you're wondering what is EMTV and what is EM, no worries. Here a little video about who we are and what we do. Good morning and welcome to EMTV.
EM is the independent magazine of the Erasmus University.
But first, news. And what can the university do to tackle the problem?
Vandaag delen we rozen uit aan studenten van de campus.
Mental health is the theme of this episode.
I've talked with students about their personal experiences and their well-being.
Since last Monday, the university has opened 500 extra study spots.
This episode will all be about vaccinations. Are you ready to answer the questions?
Yes. You know, it actually isn't that hard. You just have to remember the moves and then do them right. So maybe it is hard.
Do you want to keep up to date with the latest news? Go to erasmusmagazine.nl.
So the new academic year has begun. But before we enter the real student life with all the studying and hard working, let's look back at the Eureka Week. Many students refer to this introduction week as the best week of their life. No wonder they did have fun. Living in a student house is all fun and game until you encounter problems, like broken appliances or shady landlords. These students share their experience in dealing with one.
Have you ever had problems with the landlord?
Many times landlords try to either take advantage or scam, the tenants by either finding a small issue in the apartment and not giving the deposit back.
The previous person that attended the place, they didn't pay certain thing. It might pass over if you're not careful.
We have an in-between man. We have lots of problems with him. Doesn't really answer our texts. We have a broken window. We can't open for almost a year now.
Recently they just changed the bank number, and that was we thought it was a scam because it was just one day to the other they were like, you have to send money to this bank number. For complaints, I don't know where you have to send something.
As a tenant, I don't really know my rights. I don't even know my full contracts.
I do know I have rights. I don't know what they are.
So, what are your rights and obligations as a tenant? Susanne Schuitenmaker from the Dutch Housing Association, Woonbond, knows all about it, and she's here with us today. So welcome, Susanne.
Thank you.
And Susanne, a lot of students encounter all different kinds of problems when renting a flat or student house. Mm-hmm. What problems do you usually come across among students?
Among students, it's mostly shady landlords. You saw it in the fragment. They don't do the maintenance. They don't pay back your deposit. They don't. They ask administration costs, etc., etc. So you always have to watch carefully which landlord you deal with.
But do you feel that students are well informed and know what their rights are?
No, students are not well informed because they never have rented, and their parents probably also not, and not in Holland, because in Holland the rules are very difficult, and it's difficult to learn what your rights are. Yeah.
And we have some housing issues that students face. One of the students in the video has a broken window and it hasn't been fixed in a year.
Yeah.
Whose responsibility is that?
It's the responsibility of the landlord, of course. Yeah, he has to fix it. Unless, there is sometimes a cause of the tenant that with a storm the window blew open, and then it's his fault.
Okay, so
if you can't open it and you didn't
do
anything, then it's the responsibility.
But can the tenants fix it herself, or
a tenant can fix it herself, or let someone do it, but you have to correspond about that with your landlord. You have to write that it needs to be repaired. Then, if he doesn't respond, you have to write again. So, okay, you are not doing anything. Then I will let someone do it, and then you have to go to a repairman and ask him and ask some of them what it will cost. So you choose the one who costs less, and in the end you can let him fix it, but you can
reimburse the cost of.
Yeah, you can send the bill to your landlord, but he is probably not going to pay it. So then you can how do you call it? Verrekenen with your rent.
Okay,
so you can pay less rent to
your landlord. And we also received some photos from students in which the fractures in their houses can be seen very clearly. These are the example. So the first picture will be about a floor, and there is a little left of the floor there. And in the next picture, the second one, there are very visible cracks in the ceiling. So what would you advise the students to do? What can they do?
Now with the floor, it is not so easy, because a floor is not always a part of the thing you rent.
Yeah.
So you have first to look at your contract if the floor is
in the contract.
Delivered by the landlord and is in the contract, and then the landlord is responsible.
Yeah.
The ceiling is, of course, the responsibility of the landlord.
Okay, so the message is read your contract.
Read your contract, yeah.
And do you have tips on avoiding a landlord who is totally uncooperative and?
It's that's the problem with the Dutch law, because you have to wait 6 weeks. You always remember the landlord that you have a problem, but only after 6 weeks you can go to the huurcommissie and the rental committee, which where you can start a procedure where you can lower the rent and until the repairs are done.
Okay, and if students are going to rent a place, what should they take into account?
How do you mean?
So they have to be careful, but they to whom or what do they have to?
It's a large range of things that you have to be careful of, because there are fake advertisements of websites who promise you beautiful dwellings which are not there, probably.
Okay.
You have administration costs. How do you call it?
Like the administration you have to pay before you rent a house?
Yeah. And also you pay for the website to look at the dwellings. It's most of the time it's 100 euros.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem much, but it counts. It counts up. They want a deposit, of course, because if you don't leave the place, then in the right in the right way, then they can.
So they have to use their common sense, I guess.
And agency fees, all those kind of fees. I saw also fees of change, a new landlord, which calls it I don't know.
So a lot of fees you have to pay a lot of fees
yeah,
and
before you can enter your
okay.
Your room or
so just
apartment.
Use your common sense, and then if it's too good to be true, then it's absolutely not true.
Yes. yeah.
Okay, thank you for your time, Susanna.
Okay.
So I really hope that you don't have to deal with shady landlords ever. And apparently, there are still landlords who do things that just make sense.
Things my landlord does that just make sense. Using plates to cover holes in the wall.
Thank you all for watching. We will be back in 2 weeks on Thursday, 9 a.m. Do you want to keep up to date with the latest news? Then go to erasmusmagazine.nl.